Cold case solved with insane twist. In 2024, the power of contemporary forensic science was demonstrated in 2024 when two unsolved cases from the 1960s were finally solved. In addition to providing comfort to bereaved families, the reopening of these long-closed cases also brought attention to DNA technology advancements that may one day result in victims and their loved ones receiving justice. Let's take a closer look at the key developments that led to these astonishing breakthroughs. Number 7. Mary Jo Bailey's arrest. An important turning point in the long-running unresolved murder case of Ivan Minky, whose life was tragically cut short almost 40 years earlier, was the arrest of Mary Jo Bailey in August of 2023. Early in the 1980s, the investigation into Minky's death had come to a standstill, leaving her family in a state of unresolved grief and uncertainty. But motivated by a desire to see justice done, a committed group of cold case investigators went over the evidence again, using new eyes and cutting-edge forensic methods that were unavailable during the initial inquiry. They thoroughly re-examined witness accounts and tangible evidence, such as fibers and hair samples taken from the scene of the crime. In this case, advanced DNA analysis was crucial because it made it possible for investigators to connect Bailey directly to the evidence that was discovered at the scene, including DNA traces that fit Bailey's profile. For Minky's family, who had long felt disregarded by the legal system, this development represented more than just a procedural triumph. The arrest gave rise to optimism that justice could still be served, proving that forensic science advancements and persistence can result in closures even after decades of silence. Number 6. Life sentence for Bailey. Early in 2024, Mary Jo Bailey's trial got underway amid a lot of media attention and public interest following her arrest. The courtroom was filled with Minky's family members, who had waited years for this moment. Bailey was the target of a strong case from the prosecution, which was supported by witness testimony and forensic evidence. They drew attention to contradictions in Bailey's alibi and her prior exchanges with Minky, illuminating motive and opportunity. In their testimony, important witnesses described seeing Bailey close to the murder scene the night before, and forensic specialists described how DNA evidence connected her to the victim. In spite of her denials of guilt and accusations of being set up, the jury took only a few hours to deliberate before finding her guilty of first-degree murder. Bailey was given a life sentence in July 2024, with no chance of release for 20 years. The family of Minky was greatly touched by this decision and expressed relief as well as gratitude to the police for their unceasing efforts to put an end to their long-term suffering. For those touched by Minky's terrible passing, the trial provided an emotional release in addition to a legal resolution. Number 5. Gloria Schultz's transformation. Gloria Schultz's narrative is characterized by devious tactics and a remarkable capacity to elude authorities for more than 20 years. In the late 1990s, Schultze caused a fatal drunk driving accident that claimed another person's life. She was facing severe legal repercussions, but she was able to avoid prosecution by taking on the identity of Kate Dooley. Not only did she change her name, but she also drastically altered her appearance, coloring her hair, changing her wardrobe, and even changing her demeanor to blend in with her new life. After moving to Yellowknife, Canada, Schultze put on a front of normalcy, finding work and forming bonds with the locals while being cautious not to make any connections that would divulge information about her past. She was able to go years without being noticed thanks to her reinvention, which brought up important issues regarding identity theft and people's ability to game systems meant to keep society safe from violent criminals. Because of the length of time Schultze managed to avoid capture, there is a lesson to be learned about the weaknesses in law enforcement systems that allow people with serious criminal records to elude detection. Number 4. Anonymous tip. Gloria Schultz's case unexpectedly made headway when an anonymous tip revealed details of her carefully manicured life as Kate Dooley. Due to the critical information this tipster supplied connecting Dooley to Schultz's prior crimes, law enforcement acted swiftly. In order to better understand Schultz's DUI incidents, investigators started comparing records from different jurisdictions and revisiting previous case files. They spoke with Dooley's acquaintances, who knew nothing about her real identity, but could shed light on her past and behavior. When detectives dug deeper into Dooley's past, they found contradictions in her account that linked Schultz's criminal history, including inconsistencies about her age and previous job. The tip not only sparked new interest in an old case, but also demonstrated how important community involvement is in solving long-standing crimes. It emphasized how common people can make a big difference in law enforcement efforts by offering leads or information that might seem insignificant, but can be crucial to solving complicated cases. Number 3. Criminal history uncovered. After removing the veneer from Gloria Schultz's new persona as Kate Dooley, investigators discovered a disturbing criminal past that included several DUI-related offences. Schultz's 2009 DUI arrest was one of the key discoveries. For some reason, US authorities had been unaware of this record because of communication breakdowns between law enforcement organisations operating across national and international borders. This revelation sparked major worries about judicial system flaws that permitted someone with such a serious background to live freely for years under a false identity without being noticed or arrested by the authorities. Investigators found that Schultze had escaped capture by taking advantage of weaknesses in data-sharing agreements between various authorities, which frequently fall short of efficiently exchanging information about criminals who cross state or national borders. This case highlighted the difficulties faced by law enforcement, as well as the pressing need for increased cooperation between local, state, federal, and international agencies in order to stop people from avoiding justice because of inefficient bureaucracy. Number 2. Advancements in forensics. The cases of Gloria Schultze and Mary Jo Bailey demonstrated how recent developments in forensic science have improved the effectiveness and efficiency of criminal investigations, enabling them to solve cold cases that were previously thought to be unsolvable. In Bailey's case, decades of uncertainty surrounding evidence collected at the crime scene, evidence that had been missed or misinterpreted during initial investigations due to limited technology at the time, were finally dispelled by state-of-the-art DNA analysis techniques. In a similar vein, investigators tracked Schultz's movements over time and discovered her true identity as Kate Dooley by using digital databases and contemporary investigative techniques like social media analysis and public record searches. Law enforcement agencies now have tools that not only enable them to gather intelligence from multiple sources quickly, but also analyze physical evidence more accurately, thanks to technological advancements that have completely changed the way they approach cold cases. The incorporation of forensic science into routine police operations has raised community confidence in law enforcement's capacity to pursue justice, leading to a notable increase in case resolution rates. Number 1. Closure for victims' families. Families who had been greatly impacted by these tragic events over a long period of time were able to find much-needed closure with the resolution of these cold cases. Mary Jo Bailey's conviction put an end to decades of unsolved questions and unresolved grief for the murder of their loved one, Ivan Minky. The wound had festered unresolved since Minky's death in 1984. Many family members attended every day of the trial as a testament to their dedication to finding answers about what happened to Minky all those years ago. And they expressed their sincere gratitude to law enforcement for their unwavering commitment to seeking justice, despite the passage of time. Gloria Schultz's capture in a similar manner brought comfort to the families of victims from earlier incidents, especially those impacted by her drunk driving, as she was no longer able to use deceit to avoid accountability for her actions. These cases serve as powerful reminders of the psychological toll that unresolved crimes can take on families, as well as the commitment of law enforcement to pursue justice no matter how long it takes. They also reinforce public confidence in accountability, while highlighting the value of community support during these difficult paths toward recovery. To sum up, the cases have been solved to the satisfaction of the victims and their families, while also demonstrating the amazing progress that has been made in forensic science. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.